Yeah. How you doing, Kyle? Can you hear me? No, it's there. Okay. Good morning, everybody. SRA and N scale, how's it going? Mr. Vincent. Nobody calls me Vincent unless it's something serious. Okay. I don't understand why I couldn't get this to work last night. I tried to do a virtual camera with my OBS and StreamYards, and it just wasn't working. How's it going, William? Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. Randy Rock and Roll, how's it going, my friend? Nice to see you in here. This is just a test, basically, with my morning coffee. It's 4:42 a.m. here in Arizona. And so I'm just trying this out to see why it wasn't working. KB Rails, how's it going? Nice to see you in here. So is my picture coming across good? And anyone who's got a webcam is welcome to join me. Weber Model Railroading, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in here, Lance. I will post a link here if anybody wants to join me. Would be nice to have a little conversation with somebody. So the link will be posted now. So if you guys want to join in. Yeah, new fenders. Yep. Well, I'm just baffled. But Monterey fan, how's it going, buddy? I'm always up this early, buddy. It's the time I go to sleep. That's the difference. I go to sleep like at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, like an old man. But hey, Ryan, when do you think you can come over here? Because you had told me something a couple of months ago, and I really, really want to get that done. Yeah, it seems that I have somebody in here that wants to join me. And let's see. All right, I'll bring you up there, Mr. Goffer.
How you going, my friend?
Yeah, well, I don't see your face. There you go. Now I see your face. Oh, where are you, Ryan? Interesting to see you up this early. So you're on the East Coast somewhere, huh? Wow. Okay. How's it going, Goffer?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm just doing this test today this morning because last night I had a lot of problems getting my OBS to work with the StreamYards.
You got it working now, or is it still having a problem?
No, it's working now, but it took me 3 or 4 tries to get it to work. And I don't know if it's communication between the OBS and StreamYards or StreamYards and OBS. I don't know which way it's going.
Probably OBS and StreamYards. StreamYards takes a little bit to get used to OBS at the moment. I think they are working on the issue.
But the problem is I've been using it for the last couple of live streams, except for last night. I've been using it and it worked flawless, you know?
Yeah, but YouTube's done a recent update. And it's been causing some problems with StreamYards on mobile networks a little bit as well. And StreamYards is very geared to mobile networks at the moment, so it may have upset the communication between and OBS. So,
well, you know, I also noticed that every time Microsoft does an upgrade, it screws something else up along the line.
Yep, they always put in something new, and everything has to be quickly adapted, or it takes a few minutes for Windows to go, oh, hold on, that works like that now, does it?
Yeah, exactly.
So are you enjoying StreamYards, Vinny? That's my question to you.
Yeah, it's a nice platform. I like it, and I especially like it now that I can use the OBS with it, because then I can do all my little graphics that I have set up already, such as this, you know, and then I could do this, which, you know.
Which would be all good if you're by yourself and nobody else on panel.
Well, I could just do that, and then when I'm ready to bring somebody on panel, I could just do that. But yeah, and then I could do this. which is important to me.
No, I can understand that. Now, we're going to have a word to you about something that Roy had a word to you about while he was over there, which you definitely said you weren't interested in doing, and I still don't understand why you couldn't at least give it a go.
Well, I had Roy's thing. That was one of the problems I was having last night. When Roy was here, he actually set up his free version on my computer. And I didn't know how he set it up. So when I was trying to go live last night, it wasn't working because I was using his format. So I had to undo that and go back in and sign in under my name, and then I got it to work. But then still my OBS wasn't working with it, so I just had to do a normal live stream, just StreamYards.
Well, next time, because I'm at the moment really doing some work with other people on their channels when it comes to StreamYards. I've done backgrounds, I've done intros, I've done ticker takes across the bottom, share screens, all different things you can actually do with StreamYards. I've done that. So if you like, all you have to do is give it a yell, and we can sit down without doing a live stream, because you don't need to do a test to be able to find out everything's working. You can do this in private without anyone having to see it, and you can.
Well, no, I know that. I just thought maybe it's Saturday morning. I'm not doing anything. I'm having a cup of coffee, so I figured.
That's understandable. It's the best test is to have feedback, and feedback the only you're going to get from other people watching. So that's right. Understandable. But if you want, we can sit down and talk privately without having to do a stream and everything else, and find out what we can do with Roy's. Because if you haven't experienced it with the full mode and what you can do with that full mode, you really haven't been given the information of StreamYards might be the thing to have occasionally. I love your panels that you've been doing lately. They've been adding to the hobby quite well, and I'm absolutely sure that you get the right people up, you could actually present a very good hobby to make all those people who are questioning what they should do and how they can go about getting further in the hobby and what other interests they'd like to take their hobby. I'm absolutely sure your panels will do that, because you have guests up on your panels that are interesting, informative, and lately fun. Which I'm finding a little bit interesting. Yeah. So I would like to help you a little bit when Roy allows you to use his account, let you find out what it's like, give you some personal things that you could use on that account that may make your StreamYards interesting and enjoyable for you while you're still using your OBS, because that was the one thing I did say to Roy the other day. You can use OBS on StreamYards, and once you get it going, you can do whatever it is that you want to do, especially if you're doing normal every day.
That's the reason why, one of the reasons why I really don't want to do the full thing on StreamYards, because my OBS, it took me time to get all of that stuff in the beginning to get it set up. And I just don't want to lose all of that, No,
you won't lose it. You incorporate it in and use the best bits of StreamYards to help you even further in what you do. If you understand what I mean, you can do panel presentations. OBS is good, but it does take a little bit to do more than one person and handle it, where StreamYards handles that automatically really well.
Right.
And then the problem is, though, when you start doing panels, you do lose the opportunity of having a Vinny OBS presentation going on, because as you've just seen, it's only on your screen. People can't incorporate your OBS into their screen, whereas with StreamYards and all the extra bells and whistles, you can actually turn your whole screen into your OBS type setup, as well as adding your little bit in the corner while you're on panels with other people.
Well, that's something to think about. Right now, I don't have any time to do any of this because I am doing stuff with my house, which is important to me right now. So I have to wait on that just a little bit longer, and then maybe you and I can get together and see how we can do this. Hello, good morning, barn full of trains, King Fox Junction, Anfield. Who else we got in here? Nancy, how's it going? Joshua Williams, nice to see all you guys in here so early in the morning. Well, it's early for me. I don't know how it is. It's late evening for you, right, Gaffer?
Oh yeah, it's 9 o'clock in the evening here on a Saturday. So I'm thinking about heading to bed soon and heading off into the Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yes. Good evening, folks. How you going? This is a rare and very rare appearance you'll see me up here. I won't be up on Vinny's panels very often because Vinny I'm telling you, I'm hoping Vinny is going to get what I know Vinny is able to add to his account that will just take his channel up one more notch, and that is informative, interesting railroad interviews and panels. I'm really hoping he goes down that road because, as I said to him nearly 2 years ago when I introduced him to Webby, that would be a very good thing for him to do, building instructions or discussions about interesting parts of whatever, whether it's just an N scale layout or whether it's all over railroad layout or whatever. It's the things that I know Vinny's already been trying to do on his channel. I think he could do a lot more when he's got StreamYards up and going.
No, like I said, right now I can't do anything because it's going to take time to do whatever we need to do. So I am getting my house ready for a refinance. And so there's lots of little things I need to do because it's going to be a VA refinance. And when the appraiser comes here, he is very, very strict. If it's attached to the house, it has to be working.
Yep. No, it's mate, that's understandable. I'm sure Roy has got the patience to wait a little bit longer with his account, and I'm quite willing to sit back and wait until you're ready to give you a little bit of a hand with it. But yeah.
No, I'm kind of shocked that there's actually 13 people in here right now at this early. Well, it's not this early on the East Coast. It's already 3 hours later on the East Coast. But, yeah,
I'm not actually that shocked. I'm surprised there's not a few more people in. When Vinny goes live, everyone knows about it.
See, but the problem is, you know that Google's not sending out any more emails as far as notifications go. So it's hit and miss who's getting notifications. Now, I checked on my phone to see if it was actually live with YouTube, and it is live with YouTube. So, yeah, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But right now it's working. Last night it just didn't want to work. It was just being a big pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, I got the notification.
Yeah.
So they do work. I got it the instant you went live. As you saw, people were popping in at the beginning.
Right.
And
right.
I was there within seconds of you starting live. So yeah,
Right.
it's the notifications are there.
I guess because 13 people must have gotten, or 14 people must have gotten a notification.
Yeah. And folks, I mean, when this happens, to combat Google's inability to send out all the notifications anymore, share it out on all your other social medias and let everyone know that Vinny goes live each time, and more people will flood in a lot quicker than to, as I've noticed on the last few of them, to wander in at the last minute and go, oh, kind of glad we caught you live there, Vinny. I didn't know you were going live, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we can help out by doing that, folks. Share it out on your social medias and let everybody know in your groups that Vinny's live, and they can all come and support Vinny and find out what new things he's got to show you. Because I'm waiting for his next scratch build thing that he does. Because
it's funny because it's you and a few other people that like to see my scratch builds. Now, about a month and a half ago, I put out a quest for people to make suggestions of what they want to see on my live streams. Okay. Out of 15 suggestions, 10 of them were scratch builds or kit builds. Okay. But when I upload a video of either scratch builds or kit builds, I don't get any views. I get 100 views, and that's it.
But it could also be the notification thing and everything else that's going on. That's why I'm saying to everybody, share it out. Let everyone know that Vinny's put something up, so that way people who haven't seen it, because you may have some people who don't come and see your live streams and not interested in what you're doing, unless it's those kind of thing. And then all of a sudden you put out a video and they don't get the notification. They don't, 3 months down the track, Vinny's put out I better go have a look at that. And then your views start going up again.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way, Vinny. Your scratch building videos is one of the first things I started watching when I started the hobby, because I wanted to know who else was doing N scale, and that's basically what I had. So because of your scratch builds, this is what I'm producing.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
This is the engine inside a locomotive, specifically the locomotive that I am going to be using, which is this model.
Was that an F7?
Yeah. And I've been given information as to that is about as close as you're going to get to a scratch built engine. It has to be painted up, so it's not being done. This is all done out of styrene. the reason for this was, and to explain it to you a little bit, is in my next venture and the video I intend to put out is I've got a fully working engine shed where they've got a crane, and being as you know, these things here don't come in panel form like most locomotives actually do. The only way you can get these off is to lift them off straight. So I thought, well, I might as well have the crane lift the what's name off and then have the engine underneath.
Right.
Well, most locomotives have got those electrical engines and all the wiring and everything else to make them work, and this is a dummy which has nothing. And I don't think lifting it up and having that looking underneath in an engine shed in my layout would be very authentic.
Really?
So I've made that to sit over the top of that, so it looks like an engine inside when I paint it.
Some of the scratch builds sometimes. Yeah, see, and that's what Ryan is saying there, is that sometimes my scratch build videos are too long, but sometimes I break them up into two parts, you know. And
but you do get views.
And sometimes I can't break it at a certain point. Like I try to keep my videos at about between 20 and 25 minutes. But sometimes, like the last one I did over 40 minutes because it was the reveal. And I wanted to do the whole thing, you know, as one video. I didn't want to break it off and do the reveal as a separate video. Yep. And so that one wound up to be pretty long. I know people, they don't like to sit through and watch a 40-minute video of me putting a bunch of plastic together, you know. So like I say, I try to keep that as short as possible, try and break it at certain points where people will remember what I did last time. When I do the next video, they'll say, oh yeah, that's what he did last time. So now he's continuing on to this part, you know.
I know, but I was, the one thing that interests me was when you were doing, what's that town called that you're into now? It's gone right out of my head. Yeah. When you were doing that, watching you develop, because yours is prototypical depending on the size of the layout and depending on size you've got to do it. So you don't have every single thing about Wickenburg in there, and everything is not exactly where it's supposed to be.
No.
So you compromise. And I like to watch you build the buildings, how you go about building the buildings, and how you're compromising in your layout to get that to look enough like Wickenburg for everyone goes, oh yeah, I can see that being Wickenburg. That's right. What he's going. He's got the right shop and everything else.
And basically that's what I say to myself. If I can capture the essence of what it's supposed to be, I would be happy with that.
Exactly. And that's what I look forward to every time you put a new building down on your layout, is I'm watching your layout develop and get built, and I'm getting skills and techniques that I wouldn't have considered, or views of how to do things that I wouldn't have done that way because I watch your scratch builds.
Right.
And that's the thing that, I mean, the fact that you spray things first and that you reinforce things in this way and everything else, they're things that most people don't take into consideration. Right. How you deal with light bleed when you light things up and all those kind of things. They're techniques I like about your scratch building.
So, you know, Ryan's saying that a video should be 10, maybe 15 minutes tops. And I agree, but sometimes when you're doing a scratch build, you have to find a place that you can break, that you can say, okay, this is this video number one. So now you continue a video number two. It has to kind of roll over into that video. So now I could do like TV shows do, you know, show a short clip of the last clip I did on the previous video to start the new video. You know, I can do that.
Yes, and unfortunately, it's very hard to get that exactly 20 minutes or exactly, you know, 15 minutes or whatever, because certain things take so much time, and if you skip that, people start asking questions. Oh, what did you do here? How did you do that? And
or you go the other route and say, well, why didn't you tell me about that? You know.
Yeah. So I don't get me wrong. I love to sit through your videos about how you do things, videos about how you upgrade your layout, and you also like to explain why you're doing it, exactly why you do it, even if it may not be in regular content. And the thing I'm finding is if you miss out on any part of that video, you've missed out on some important information that you might have thought should have been in there in the first place, because Vinny's realised he needs to put it in and stuck it in at the end, or stuck it in a bit further down the track and mentioned it, so all the context is there. The ones where you talk about what's going on and just say hi to people. Everything else is fun, and about 10 minutes of that is about all I'll interact with. I'll sit and have it listening in the background, but I've already gone and look for other interesting stuff because I'm into modelling. That's my thing. I love building. I love modelling. I love finding new ways of doing things. So, hey, Jacob J. Yes, it's me. And it's weird to even see me even this close to Vinny. I've got goosebumps. He's sitting in the next screen right next to me.
Yeah. Like I said, I just want to see if all this, and it seems to be working now. And it's like, it just pisses me off that I couldn't get it to work last night. And when stuff starts happening like what was happening last night, I start to panic. Okay. And I'm talking to Roy on the phone. He's telling me, log out, log back in, do this, do that. And I said, Roy, I can't do that. I got 5 minutes before my show starts. So I used his, and my guest, who is Tom's Changing Things, he goes on YouTube and says, no, it's not live. I said, well, okay, so what do we do? So he went to Roy's channel, and it wasn't live on Roy's channel either. So I don't know what was happening there.
That's weird.
You see Ryan saying, make a small how-to technique series that goes over individual aspects. Well, I can do that too.
The one I like are the ones where he's building requests from other people that are paying him to build something. And you see him, he does it in sections. He said, this is basically what I'm going to do this week, and I'll show you how I go about do that. And we watch the build, we watch it develop, and then the next time he watches it, we watch it, it's the next stage along. He said, oh, I've added this and I've painted that, which is, incidental really to what's going on. And now I'm going to tackle this bit. And he does slowly but surely build it up. And I like those videos. But yeah, that's not all Vinny's about. And that's the reason why he keeps getting more and more people coming into his channel, is because scratch build isn't all Vinny does. It's just one of the aspects, the ones I enjoy.
Yeah. And you're right. There are certain people that like to see the scratch builds or kit builds, whatever. But then there's also people that like to see me working on my layout.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's crazy, but I get a lot more views when I work on my layout than I do when I do scratch builds. My layout, when I do a layout video, within the first 24 hours, I have 150 plus views.
Well, yeah, the layout is what everybody's generally the same as. Scratch building, not a lot of people that are interested. They'd rather have the kits and just put kits together and add them to their layout, which is another aspect.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the kit I just finished, the build I just finished, he got it in the mail yesterday, and he's going to be doing a video on it probably in the next couple of days. But I had a lot of fun doing that build because I was taking a kit, a Walther's kit, and I was actually making it my own. And by that, I mean, I added 2 walls that were identical to the building. I added one on each side, and I call them step down walls because he wanted a gigantic industry. So he had given me 2 kits to do. One was the build I used, and one is the build I didn't use. And the reason why I didn't use the other kit is because the buildings were not proportioned right to the building I had already built. So I had to scratch build a couple of buildings to make it look good or look presentable, let's put it that way. So, but yeah,
which makes good video, which does. I personally think that makes good video, because there are people who want to individualize their layout with kits, and unfortunately kits are the one thing about kits that's really annoying is kits look the same no matter how you paint it up. Everyone knows that's that kit and it's the same, and everyone's layout starts looking the same. And once you can individualize a kit and make that kit stand out from being different to everybody else's, that's when people are starting to get interested in. And how to go about changing that and making what you just did, which is scratch building, it would be interesting video.
Let's see. Nancy says, Vinny, I watch the videos because I love the layout, but it's also I want to learn to scratch build. And and that was my objective really when I first started doing my live stream, was to teach people how to do a live stream. I mean, how to do a scratch build. And for a while, I was getting a lot of good views on that. But then again, I look at it and say, well, how many times can I put 4 walls together and make it interesting,
Well, I'm still counting.
Really?
No, serious. I'm telling you, Vinny, it's still the fact that you have a lot of problems that you overcome during your scratch building is the interesting part of the way you do scratch building. It's not just putting four walls together. It's putting four walls together to fit a particular request or situation or thing that you're doing. For instance, and I'll put it down to cost is one of the biggest things that affects your layout.
Mm-hmm.
Not having the money to always do everything. So you go about finding the easiest and quickest and cheapest way to go about doing that, which is mostly scratch building or doing things the cheaper way. Your river that you put in your layout sent me to the guy you found that video about and that technique from, and now I watch his religiously because of the how-to things he does, which is okay for HO and okay the way he does it, but he does give you a certain amount of techniques, which is why I enjoyed your video, your river so much, because the technique is so simple, so easy, so straightforward,
so cheap, and it was really cheap too. You're talking about Markland of Sweden, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah. The way he did his river, I said, "Wow, that's really easy. If I can get mine to look like that, that would be great." And sure enough, just following his technique, it came out good.
Which is the reason why when you did yours, I was so impressed with the technique. I thought that's so simple and so easy, and you don't have to go out and buy all this expensive stuff to be able to do your river and so forth. And you ended up with a nice river.
Yeah. And if you guys that don't know what we're talking about, if you all want to go to Markland of Sweden is the name of the channel. He does some outrageous stuff and shows you how to do stuff. Now, what Goffer's talking about is, I guess it was about 3 years ago that I saw this video on how he does a river using tissue paper and glue and varnish. And that's all it was. And it worked out really, really good. I was totally impressed.
Yeah, but he's the thing I like about his videos, they're very, very well explained. Even if he doesn't have the clear understanding of the English accent, English language, they are very clearly explained, and they cover all the questions that you would normally ask if you were watching him do it live. He automatically answers them while he's doing it. It makes it so straightforward. So when he does his sandstone brick walls for his abutments and all that kind of stuff, his technique is very basic, very simple, and looks very impressive when he's finished with it. So his techniques are pretty basic.
And 99% of the time, it's all stuff that you already have in your house. You don't have to spend any extra money.
Yep. Yeah. And the good thing I liked about it, Vinny, is you thought you would at least show everybody that if Vinny can do it, anyone can do it type attitude.
Basically,
unfortunately, though, Vinny can do it. Not everyone can do it. Vinny does things that hardly people still don't know how to do.
Hello, Charles. How's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in here. What do we got? 17 people have already gone 20 minutes. Wow. Joe Reader.
So I hope this has been a successful test.
Yeah, well, yeah, it seems to be working okay.
And I hope it works better the next time.
And like I said, I don't know why. I think there's just every time, like I mentioned earlier, every time Microsoft does an upgrade, something gets messed up down the line somewhere. And I'm pretty sure that this is the reason
a lot of people this week I've had to help with StreamYards because their normal everyday panels that they do on a weekly basis did not allow other people to come in. They were having complaints about buffering and sound problems and everything else during their live stream. But in general, there was nothing wrong with what they were doing. It was the update that YouTube had needed the app on the mobile phone, which everyone was using to watch it, to be updated. Most people didn't do it, and they were getting all the problems because they were behind where they were supposed to be. And I think those updates that are coming along, when Microsoft does an update and YouTube does an update and Google does an update, the three together don't quite settle into each other for about a week.
They don't mesh together.
Yeah, and I think StreamYards is doing their best to keep everything up to date as well and keeping up with things. And it's very hard to make sure that they've tweaked it all just nicely the first time. So
yeah.
And you never know until you do a live stream. So, you know what I mean? Until you go to it and all of a sudden something's going wrong. What's going on? You don't know that because you've never put it under test.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to call this good because it seems to be working. We've done a half hour worth of time already, and it seemed to have worked with no glitches. So We'll have to see what happens next Friday and see
All right, sir.
if it all
Thank you
works.
very much. Thank you very much for having me up. I hope I've given you some idea that what you do is worthwhile everybody watching, because we do enjoy all different aspects. Whoever we are, there's an aspect there that we like of Vinny. So keep doing what you're doing, sir, because I'm quite happy, sure, and everybody else will be happy to keep watching.
All right. Take care, Gaffer. Take care, everyone. Talk to you guys
Thank you,
later.
sir.
Bye.